Hi friends, happy Pisces season. We're going to talk about the energy of Pisces season, some specific transits that you want to pay attention to, and of course do a tarot reading so that you know what to expect during this Pisces season, which lasts from today, which is February 18th, through March 19th. Pisces is the last sign of the zodiac, so it's a time to integrate everything else that has happened in the astrological year, to kind of look at what areas you've grown, what things are maybe still holding you back, to allow for like that higher calling so that you can step forward into the next year. It's a time of a lot of intuition. It's a time of dreams so that you can kind of like dream of what you want to have for the next year. And there's, like I said, there's a lot of integration in this Pisces season. That integration is going to come in the form of lots of retrogrades as well as eclipses. So there's a lot of things going on energetically and astrologically. So we're going to talk about that. First, just some key dates. So on February 23rd, Mars is going to be moving direct. Mars has actually been in retrograde. It's going to be moving direct, so that should start to kind of help a bit. On February 27th will be the new moon in Pisces. It is also the last new moon of this astrological year, and it is also the last new moon before eclipse season. That is going to be a really good new moon to set intentions like for the upcoming year. You're not going to want to set intentions on the new moon in Aries because we're going to be having an eclipse. You don't really want to do intention settings during an eclipse. So the new moon on February 27th is going to be a good one to set intentions, and I'll do a whole additional reading for that then, but I want you to just already have in mind that like that's a date that you want to be paying attention to and that you can like do your rituals and stuff like that then. Another big thing that's happening is Venus retrograde. That's going to start on March 1st. I will be doing a whole reading for March. Venus is in Aries currently. It will retrograde from Aries all the way back into Pisces, but when it retrogrades into Pisces, it will actually already be Aries season by that point. But Venus retrograde is going to be a whole big thing. We'll definitely talk about that more in other readings that are closer to that time. Then eclipse season is going to start. So there's a full moon in Virgo on March 14th, but that day will be a lunar eclipse. It's on the Pisces Virgo axis, so there's a lot going on there, and you'll actually feel the effects of that eclipse a few days prior. So I'll also do an eclipse season reading as we get closer. So there's lots of things to look forward to. Make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss out on any of these readings. And then right after that eclipse, which that's just the first eclipse, there's going to be more eclipses in Aries season also, then Mercury goes retrograde on March 15th. So it's a lot, friends. It's a lot. During Pisces season, the sun is in Pisces. Like that's what defines Pisces season. But also, Mercury is currently in Pisces until March 3rd. Saturn is in Pisces and will be the entire time of Pisces season. Neptune is in Pisces and will be for the entire time of Pisces season. And the North and South Node is on the Pisces Virgo axis and will be for the entire time of Pisces season. Saturn won't move until May. Neptune is going to be in Pisces for a long time still. And the North and South nodes literally just moved into the Pisces Virgo axis. They'll be there for like the next year and a half. So all of that to say, Pisces has a lot going on. And so whether you are a Pisces or you have lots of Pisces placements, whatever house in your chart is where you have Pisces, that house is like being activated. So there's definitely a lot going on, but this is also a great season. Pisces is always a great season to embrace transformation. So the first thing I want to ask for this collective is what area you need to embrace transformation. And that was coming out very fast. I had already been like thinking of it in my mind. Oh my goodness. Okay. Let's see. It's clearly about having a balanced love. You need to have transformation in balanced love. Okay, this can be in various relationships, but I see the Lovers was the very first card that came out, and then the Justice card, embracing transformation around how you engage in loving relationships. Again, this can be family, this can be friends. For many of this will also be romantic, and it honestly could be all. This could really be an opportunity for you to be reflecting on the way that you are engaging in relationships. And with the Justice card, that's where I'm really talking about this balance, the like equalness in the relationships, that this is something where you need to trust that you are inherently loved. You automatically deserve love just by existing. It's almost like a natural law. You deserve to be loved. I'm posting a whole reading about the fact that you deserve to be loved on TikTok right now. So that's interesting that this message is coming out, but you just by existing deserve to be loved. It's like again, this like universal law, okay? And that you should be choosing connections that help you to embrace those qualities of being deserving and being valued. And yeah, I think attracting in like this, attracting in and then choosing the type of like equal partners in life. And so not every person that you attract in is going to be this. And that's part of you needing to use your discernment that like, yes, you can be asking the universe, like, send me the right people for me. That does not mean that like you're not going to also be exposed to like the not right people for you. You have to use your discernment on what connections to really like engage in. I think this might be a place where sometimes you've made mistakes with that, because I see the 10 of crystals on the bottom of the deck and the Knight of crystals. It's like sometimes like just because somebody is coming in, you assume like, oh, this must mean that it's for me, and that's not always the case. And I think sometimes you kind of like jump the gun on it, because I see the Hierophant card again, like with spirit kind of being like, this is part of your spiritual process. This is your transformation, with the Ace of Wands and the Page of Wands. And I especially feel like with a lot of these retrogrades, it is opportunity to kind of like go back and be thinking about how you've engaged and like maybe jumped in quickly to relationships, or like been like overly passionate, overly attached, overly excited, where you're not actually getting everything that you deserve to. And maybe just like taking sometimes like more of a naive energy into something, or taking risks in ways. It's like, it almost seems like the risks that you're taking are like the wrong types of risks. Let me give you an example that's not actually related to love. So let's say that like you were thinking about, you wanted to like go on a road trip. Okay, so maybe the risk is like going somewhere that you've never gone before, like exploring an area that's outside of your comfort zone. Maybe like you're a little spontaneous about where you're going, but a risk that you're not taking is like not filling up your tank with gas. A risk that you're not taking is like not making sure that like your car is like set up and stuff like that. A risk that you're not taking is like not driving with your seatbelt on. Like that's just ridiculous. Like why? A risk that you're not taking is like driving 90 miles per hour through like a 45 mile per hour zone. Those are just like ridiculous risks, right? And instead like the risk that you're taking is, it's like I feel like this is kind of the energy. Okay, so I'm gonna come back to these cards in a second, but I just feel like you need to know what types of risks to take. And it's like, I feel like you're not taking the types of risks that you need to. Like maybe you're not going and exploring a new place. Maybe you're not trying to like push yourself outside of your comfort zone, but you are taking risky behaviors and things that are like not, like they're things you know that they're not safe, and like, why would you do them? Again, it's like driving without your seatbelt on. Like, what's the point of that? Just put on your freaking seatbelt. But that's kind of the energy here of like choosing the wrong types of risks. So like we got to kind of like reintegrate what we've learned over time and not be hasty in those areas, and instead be willing to be brave in the areas that are the areas we haven't maybe been brave in before. So with the Hanged Man, the 10 of Stars, and the 9 of Crystals coming out. So the Hanged Man is Neptune, which is Pisces ruler. We have, and is also in Pisces right now. We have the 10 of Stars and then the 9 of Crystals. Okay, so what I feel like this is also talking about is like the ways that you keep yourself stuck in certain patterns where you're not embracing transformation, and how that is actually really hurting you. What you want is this. You want this 10 of Stars, and you want this with your friends. You want this with your family. You want this with like building your legacy and career. You want this in your romantic relationships most of all. And it's like, this is what you desire. You're not experiencing this, and that's causing a lot of anxiety. But the reason that you're not is because, and maybe not just anxiety, like emotional and mental anguish, right? Like it's disappointment, it's loneliness, it's like, it's all the like emotions that you don't really enjoy experiencing, right? And with the Hanged Man, it's like the reason that you're not getting here is because you're keeping yourself stuck in the ways that you don't need to, and like just not making the best choices. Like that's really what I feel like it's getting at. And so I feel like you need to open yourself up to new perspectives. That's a really big Pisces season theme. And allow yourself to dream without like, getting caught up in fantasy or delulu, right? So let's take a look and see what types of new perspectives do you need to open your mind up to? What types of new perspectives do you need to open your mind up to? What types of new perspectives do you need to open your mind up to? What types of new perspectives? Wow. What types of new perspectives do you need to open your mind up to? Okay. Literally with the Page of Crystals on the bottom of the deck, like one of the like key phrases, keywords is new perspectives with her. Okay, so just confirmation that that's really what we're getting the answer for. The first thing that came out is the Hermit. This is Virgo, and again, we're on this like whole Virgo Pisces axis. Virgo and Pisces are opposite of each other in the charts, so like they're sister signs. Okay, so with the Hermit coming out, this is a lot about having higher wisdom, higher truth, getting answers from your spirit guides. If any of you are somebody, like if you work with crystals, I'm strongly getting Lemurian would be so helpful for you at this time. Okay, like that, just like a download coming through. Angelite could also be really helpful for you, but and like there's other crystals, like, but those two are like just like really coming through a lot. I feel like the new perspectives is like almost maybe try journaling this. What would your highest self, your future self, your wisest self, you could ask all three of those different questions, advise you to do right now? What would my highest self advise me to do? What would my future self wish I would be doing right now? What would my wisest self, like what wisdom would my wisest self like to impart on me right now? And like just kind of let that kind of come out. The communication with those other like versions of you is going to be more accessible during this time. Okay. I do also see this like with the Emperor here, with the Hermit and the Emperor. Look at how they're like this like old man energy. Okay. So I feel like there's a lot of this like learning from those like older, wiser guide type of selves, and like not just doing the like naive thing that like this like young person wants to be doing. Gender does not matter in this reading. Like that's not what I'm talking about. This is just to kind of show us like, because these are the only people in the deck that look like this. Okay, there is no like old woman looking version of in the cards. So it's what this is trying to show is that like this like older version of like looking back and being like, hey, did you take responsibility for making these changes for yourself? Like you need to like go internal. Okay, and I do feel like with the Strength card, I feel like you need to also this is actually connecting to other versions of yourself too, frankly. And I think it's also being able to like have the courage to take the steps that you need to take to make the changes that you want to take, instead of holding on to the past versions of you with the Four of Stars. I feel like there's still a lot of this like holding on to past things, and that's what's not allowing you to move forward with the Eight of Wands. The Eight of Wands is also like one of my favorite cards to come out for retrogrades, because I do feel like it's so clear of like showing you how you need to like pull back and re-aim before you shoot again. Like if you actually want to hit your target, and like if you want to move yourself forward, and like that's the goal, right? Like you want to move forward to the Ten of Stars, you want to move forward to the Lovers, you want to move forward in life feeling really good, right? You want to feel like spiritually connected, you want these new perspectives. You have to kind of see like what are you doing wrong when like you're pulling yourself back so that you can shoot towards the right target. And I feel like this is where you are holding yourself back. I think a lot of the limitations that you are experiencing right now, maybe you think it's because it's somebody else's behavior, maybe you think it's because of circumstances in your life or something. What I'm getting, and like I think this is a really big part of like taking accountability and responsibility, that's also a big theme with the Emperor. And again, seeing this Hanged Man, the Hanged Man put himself in this position. You are holding yourself back. You are holding yourself back. And I know that could be really hard to hear, But I think that that's what you kind of need to open your eyes to. That's the new perspective. Like, what are the ways that you're holding yourself back? What are the ways that you are not contributing to your own growth, where you're prohibiting your own growth? And I think that like taking accountability is going to be so important. If the more that you take time to like reflect on that and work through that now, the smoother the retrogrades will go. If you don't want to look at that, the retrogrades in the eclipse season will be harsh for you. Okay. Eclipses are going to show you what you need to show, or show you what you need to see, and like shake stuff up for you, whether you want it to or not. And if you want to like have a little bit more control here, then you need to make the choices. Yeah, like I'm just seeing with the 7 of Cups and the Star card, it's like you can choose your own healing, right? You can go into this and have more control, or you can be like, I'm not going to do anything, and then the season is going to be hard. It will do it for you. Yeah, they'll do it for you if you don't want to do it yourself. They will do it for you, but it's not going to feel good, right? It's almost like a parent talking to a child. It's like, you know, we need to go right now. So do you want to get up and walk and go, or do you need me to carry you? And if the kid's like, I'm not going. And then like, okay, well, I'm going to pick you up and carry you. So like you can go kicking and screaming, or you can decide like, now I'll put my shoes on and go, right? Like just staying put is not an option anymore with the 4 of Crystals. So I feel like that's another big theme with this Pisces season. Yeah. You're like, I want to see all the choices. We got like, this is okay to like reflect, but you can't just keep doing the same thing over and 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 expecting a different outcome. The last theme I want to talk about with Pisces season is like embracing magic, and like the way that you can kind of like awaken to magic instead of having to like, the Magician. The freaking Magician. It has the word magic on the card. Okay, you can awaken to magic. I feel like there's magic all, like that was magic, right? Like there's magic all around you, and you just have to open your eyes to it. You don't have to create magical moments all the time. You can just open your eyes to the magic. And so I want to see like what else can you do that like, or how can you like open your eyes to more magic? How can you call in more magic? It's already there, but how can you like exist with it? So let's see if there's any advice for you there. Yeah, I honestly feel like some of it is just trying to like maybe shut down some of the other parts of like what's going on around you. Like it has to be quiet sometimes for you to see the magic. The 4 of Cups is telling me like you're looking in all these spaces and you're missing that the magic is already there. Maybe this is something as simple as just like, okay, so first of all, if you live anywhere near water and you can go to a place that has water, like the ocean is the most ideal, but any type of sea, a lake, a river, anything, okay? And just like literally just sit and listen to the water and watch the water. That would be amazing as a way to kind of like, you can connect to that magic. And yeah, just like be in that quiet. It's almost like in order to experience the magic of Pisces season, you have to allow that space for it. So you have to allow yourself to have time to daydream. You have to allow yourself to have time to take in the messages from spirit, and doing that around water is great. Take even just like in the shower or bath, if you're normally used to like listening to a podcast or listening to music, try having like quiet time in the shower or bath and just let your mind wander, and like you might find more magic and magical messages because of that space that you create for yourself. Is there anything else around like creating magic or awakening to magic? Awakening to magic. Let's see. For some of you, maybe there's like some area where like you know that like you have a talent, maybe like a gift, whether that's like a psychic gift, maybe it's a creative gift that you know you're supposed to be giving out to the universe or something like that. I feel like this is a really good time to use that gift, and it's a way to show gratitude to the universe for those gifts. It can be something as simple as like gardening. Okay. Oh yeah. Okay. With the 3 of Stars here, and then now I see the 6 of Cups, like even something as simple as just like creating, just something where you like, you know, like this is actually magic. Like I just made this and like that is magical. And just thanking the universe for that. I also honestly feel like some of the magic that you can experience is in talking to your inner child and talking to your future self. The magic of essentially like time travel, quantum leaping, like different like astral experiences that you can do by literally like going back and talking to younger parts of you and asking older parts of you, future parts of you to talk to you now. With the Six of Cups, I feel like that Page of Crystals is back here. Okay, that's a way to open your mind to new experiences and experience this type of magic. Like, and that can be so healing. High Priestess is here now. Lots of Pisces energy. This is deep intuition. This is very magical. Talking to your younger self is a type of magic that is already within you, already something that you can do and can help you have a much more powerful, healing Pisces season and eclipse season and retrograde season, all of this wrapped into one, so that it feels good and allows for that like deep transformation in a way that feels good to you as opposed to like painful as you're going through it. So I hope that helps. If you're looking for additional guidance, I do offer personal tarot readings at the link in my bio. I'll be back for many more readings for this collective during this season to help offer more guidance, but I know that you can make it through if you just like embrace these qualities and yeah, let me know how it's going.